Okay, fellas, I'm back, and we're going to get into dispelling myths initiated by the Jordan Loons. The Jordan Loons, everyone. Okay, we're going to get into the Michael Jordan myth of hand checking and flagrant foul. And you got a lot of propaganda artists out here, Jordan Loons, out here promoting this propaganda about hand checking and the flagrant foul. And naturally, here at Bumper Boy Sports, naturally I research and I dig in and I expose propaganda artists such as Bruce Blitz. Okay, here's Bruce Propaganda Blitz, explaining his ridiculous explanation of Michael Jordan and what he had to face during the hand check era. And naturally, I'm Bumper Boy Sports. Naturally, I'm gonna expose this guy, and I'm gonna blast on him. You guys already know this, but here's Bruce Blitz out of his own mouth.
No, from watching the old footage, some of you, or if you're my age, you remember watching the games. Clyde Drexler, a guy like Michael Jordan, would go to the rim, and the big would jump up and just plaster him.
Okay, you hear that? This guy is talking about the big would just come up and just plaster him, right? And he's talking about these rules as opposed to 2004. But see, naturally I break his film down and I do research. So he's about to get exposed. The myth of the Jordan Loons. Da-da! Okay, he was talking about Clyde Drexler and Jordan going to the hole and he would just get plastered. Well, here you go. He was talking about a flagrant foul, okay? In basketball, a personal foul is a breach of the rules that concerns illegal personal contact with an opponent. The NBA flagrant foul rule was enacted in the 1990s. Okay? Jordan played when? The 1990s. Da-da! The myth of the Jordan Loons. Okay? As an attempt to deter contact, which, in addition to being against the rules, puts an opponent's safety and health at risk. The terminology in the NBA rulebook for contact that puts safety and health at risk is unnecessary and or excessive contact. And here's Bruce Blitz again.
From watching the old footage, some of you, or if you're my age, you remember watching the games. Clyde Drexler, a guy like Michael Jordan, would go to the rim, and the big would jump up and just plaster him.
Yeah, right, Bruce Blitz. Yeah, right, Bruce Blitz. Here's the rules right here. It tells you right here. It's the 1990s, okay? Jordan played when? The 1990s. So, in this era, he wasn't getting plastered with no foul. So, what are you talking about? All that happened early in his career. So, you trying to say Michael Jordan went his whole entire career getting plastered, going to the hole? When I showed you pictures of Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan on the court together, okay? It's propaganda, Holmes. Okay, here you go. We had an article here, okay? And this is problem with hand checking in the NBA. MJ versus Kobe. Here's Michael Jordan talking about he made a claim that if playing under today's rules, he could score 100 points in the game, mainly because of the rules that make it easier for offenses and harder on defenses. One of the rules that he cited was the hand checking rule. However, a simple checking when the rules were enacted doesn't agree with Michael Jordan's version of events. The rules Jordan played under from 84 to 94 regarding hand checking are as follows. Clarification has been added to prohibit hand checking through rigid enforcement, a rule allowing a defensive player to retain contact with his opponent so as long as he does not impede his opponent's progress. These are the rules Jordan played under. Jordan played under these rules for 9 years. Although these rules don't seem to allow a whole lot of physical contact and advantage for the defender, I'm sure that officiating hand checking would have been a nightmare. See right here. However, the league cleaned up the hand checking rule for the 1994-95 season during the Jordan era, which coincidentally was the season that MJ came out of his first retirement. The new rule that was enacted, believe it or not, is very similar to what the league currently had today. Okay? The 1994 rules as follows. Hand checking is limited from the end line in the backcourt to the opposite foul line. What this effectively means is that hand checking is prohibited except for post play in the paint. Okay, here's a quote from the late Wilt Chamberlain. He said, if Michael was here right now, I would say to him, when you are so great that the league tries to change the rules in an attempt to stop you, then you can claim you are the best ever. Every rule change I have seen during your career has been meant to enhance your game, such as shortened three-point line, hand-checking rules, and well-defined rules regarding illegal defense. That's the great Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt also went on to further discuss how other players went through these same rules. I'm up.